Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what's the biggest WTF gift you've ever received? When I was like 12, my mom's boyfriend gave me a holiday card with sexual themes in the text. My mom pulled me aside later and told me that he was almost illiterate and hadn't read it before giving it to me and to never talk about it again. A holiday card with sexual themes in the text. He was almost illiterate. You can't spell dyslexia without sex daily. 16th birthday, then girlfriend's dad gifted me a pair of sexy red lacy thong panties. I still don't know if he was suggesting that I sleep with his daughter, his wife, or him. Sleep with his daughter, his wife, or and him. FTFY. What a missed opportunity. My crush, her mom, and a guy that looked mysteriously like Paul Bunyan as my first time. If only I had a time machine. Maybe it was one of those whatever you do to my daughter I'm going to do to you things. Well then he owes me 2 years of unrequited feelings and a trip to Disney World. Edit, thanks for good, kid Stranglers. When I was about 10, my little brother, only 3 or so, was very sweet and told my parents he had a present for me but didn't want anyone to see and wanted to wrap it himself. Christmas morning comes and I'm very moved by the showbox-sized gift my little brother taped up as best he could and made my mom wrap for him. He excitedly brought it over and I noticed it was pretty light but his eyes were giddy with excitement for me to open it. I figured it was a hand-drawn picture or something and so I made a big show about being excited to see what was inside. As I started to remove the tape from the box I noticed a little odd smell but figured it was just because the old box was in the basement. When I finally got the lid open and my brother excitedly exclaimed Merry Christmas, I got to see what he was so excited about for the past 2 weeks. The box contained a dead hummingbird that had run into the window, an earthworm, and a few scattered saltines in case the worm and bird got hungry. Best present ever, but definitely WTF. I thought it was going to be shit. I thought he shat in a box and gave it to you. That'd be a badass brother move. That's a good idea for the 30th anniversary of this event coming up in a few years. If he ever marries, please do a big speech where you give him a toy hummingbird, a gummy worm and saltines. For my bridal shower, my mother-in-law gave me an old bikini. How do I know it was old? The elastic was crusty. Gross. My ex-mother-in-law got me paper napkins for our first Christmas together. Not even nice ones. Off-brand cheap ones when she got everyone else expensive gifts. She also referred to me as her son's friend for the first 2 years of our marriage. Edit, I did not expect people to respond so much to this. So, to clear up some questions below, we were not a same-sex couple, and it was Christmas, not our anniversary, so the excuse of first anniversary being paper is moot. Our first Christmas wasn't anywhere near our first anniversary, either. Also, we divorced after 3 years because he couldn't stand up to his horrible family's horrible treatment of me. It all boiled down to them being racist. They straight up told me that they would never accept me because I wasn't 100% white, I'm half Asian. Granted, I was a dumbass to even marry him in the first place with all the red flags when it came to his family. Over a decade after our divorce, he emailed me an apology. We still have a slightly overlapping social circle. He was on divorce #2 at the time and surprise, his mother treated his second wife horribly, as well. The irony was, his mother would berate wife #2 and tell her how I was so much better, and wife #2 was 100% white. Fucking bizarre woman. Also, I'm remarried, and my current mother-in-law is a slightly different kind of awful. She's a Trump-worshipping, racist, religious fanatic and she makes sure to let you know at every opportunity, but at least my current spouse stands up to her. My mill was a real battle axe, but we got on after I put her in her place a few times. She only understood pecking order, so I pecked extra fucking hard. Lol, my grandma, who raised me, was dog sitting for us, and my wife went to drop off food for her while I was working. My grandma sent my sister a super bitchy text which included the sentence, "He didn't even come himself. He sent someone." My wife and I had been together 7.5 years at that point, but I sent someone. Edit, food was for the dog. Poor grandma made that unclear. My mother-in-law asked for some of the trashy lingerie I got from my bridal shower. I'm not usually slow to response, but I went blank and just handed her the boxes. 4 months later she even gave me reviews of the ones her lovers liked. Cringe. My husband was mortified and still can't laugh about it. We've been married 20 years and have 4 kids. I had one of these with my nonna that turned into a fucking Hallmark life lesson. High school, 1998 or so. At some point in October or so I mentioned casually during a visit that my bedroom was chilly at night. Come Christmas, I open my gift from nonna. A space heater. As a teenager who was hoping for video games or CDs or other such things, I put on the forced smile rictus and thanked her for the gift while internally bemoaning all the loot that could have been. I must have been grossly unconvincing because she got a bit anxiously defensive. You said your room was cold. I thought it'd help out. Later that night we head home. I plug the space heater in when I go to bed because why not? My God, you all. The difference that space heater made. Actual fucking comfortable sleep for once. No waking up halfway through the night shivering, or getting shocked awake by my foot straying too far from out of the covers. The next time I went to her house I gave Nonna a giant hug, and told her how much better my room was at night with that space heater, and gave her an actual genuine thank you. I didn't even mind the following: I told you it'd help. Ever since that Christmas, when I get something practical for Christmas from Nonna, I thank her sincerely, because it will be useful. I still use that space heater 20 years after the fact, too. This story made me smile. A book called This Is Why You're Single. Thanks Mom. Inside the cover was just a mirror. Inside the cover was just a mirror. Dude, you could have at least included a spoiler tag. My mother-in-law has given me every messed up, self-help book for the first 10 years of my marriage to her son. She sucks. I started sneaking them back into her bookshelves over the years. It's become a highlight of laughter for my siblings and I. They think she sucks too. My ex's sister gave me Drive. Phil's Relationship Rescue, and I opened in front of his entire extended family. If I had not got out of that relationship I am sure I would have acquired a library of them. This wasn't me, but it's a great story anyway. My very materialistic sister dated, and eventually married, a pretty rich guy. They met on New Year's Eve, so by the first Christmas they shared they were together for a year. The whole first year he showered her with gifts and trips and all kinds of stuff, even paying for her education. He seemed like a great guy, but because he was a little weird and shy my parents didn't meet him until that first Christmas. Well, he showed up with gifts for all really nice and thoughtful things. My sister opened hers last. It was a huge box, inside was another box, and another, that old gag with maybe 10 or 12 boxes. Well, we were all thinking at the bottom there is a ring, he's going to propose. When she got to the final box it was a single roll of toilet paper and a can of Campbell's soup. I just about pissed myself with laughter looking at my sister's dumb fucking face. One of the top 10 moments in my life if I'm being honest. We never got an explanation as to why. It wasn't an inside joke or anything, just a weird fucking thing from a weird fucking guy. I like him, maybe even more than my sister does, but my parents definitely think he's a weirdo. Edit, forgot to mention about 8 years after this I moved across the country, and my first Christmas without the family he sent me a half-eaten box of stale Triscuits and a Ziploc bag of hair that had fallen off their cat. There was no card, but he wrote Jews rule on the wrapping paper with Sharpie. My reward for being the only member of my family to not shun him for his weird behavior over the years. Edit, here's a pic of my gift for the non-believers. Marry him. Marry your sister's goofy BF, right out from under her. He sounds a lot like my uncle. Rich as fuck, really weird, but kinda like funny quirky weird. At least my uncle though is very outgoing, unlike this guy. My uncle will send me money and stuff, but each time there's a different aspect of humor to it. One year it was an Amex gift card in a huge box. Another Amex gift card the following year in an envelope, and the return address was a prison cell in San Francisco with a note written on the back, PS: help me. Another Amex gift card with the name set as Happy Whore Car despite nobody in our family being Jewish. A guinea pig. Just the guinea pig, no cage or anything. ETA they gave it to me in a bucket, we kept it for a few months then gave it to my cousins. Gifting pets without it being pre-approved in some way is a horrible thing to do. Pets are a monthly expense of time and money. Not only that, but buying animals on impulse without researching or having what they need first is already shitty, to force that on other people is even shittier. Welp. Guess I got to go buy a proper cage and a second guinea pig so it doesn't get depressed. Thanks. Got gifted a bird. Totally my fault. I was always saying I wanted one. But on my own terms, you know. This asshole isn't that smart or pretty and is gonna live a long time. Learned to love him, but he's not what I wanted. A jar. When I was 12. I got a bunch of Tupperware for Christmas when I was 12 too. My parents thought it would be great cause I was the one who did the dishes. Spoiler. It wasn't. Edit. I would just like everyone to know that I still use the very same Tupperware to this day. It may have been a shitty gift, but it was still some quality Tupperware. I think your parents just wanted new Tupperware. My mom got me a mason jar once cause her maiden name was Mason and she gave it to me as a middle name. I hate the name Mason. So, _Mason_, how is it going?